Hey, what's up? Welcome to today's mobility follow along. We're going to be going through warm-up sequence 1 from the Bulletproof for BJJ app. This is foundation mobility, the first cycle. There's 3 cycles in this program, and we're doing the first warm-up. This has got 3 simple mobility drills. We've got a split stance good morning, we have an alternating Cossack squat, and we have a side lying rotation. So the split stance good morning is going to be targeting all of this stuff along the back of the legs, hamstrings, glutes, and even a little bit of calves. The alternating Cossack is more looking at the inside aspect of the thighs, while also a bit of single leg strength and stability. And then our side lying rotation is a really nice big rotating and extending stretch for the trunk. So think spine, rib cage, pec, shoulders. So 2 lower body, 1 upper body focused drill, 3 rounds. We're not taking any rest. We're also not sprinting. We'll do this before Jiu-Jitsu, but if you don't have the time, you can just do it as a standalone thing when you wake up in the morning, before you go to bed, or you could do it before your strength training. Let's get into it. All right, stride stance, good morning. Standing on one leg, second foot placed behind me for a bit of balance. Fingertips come to the ears, and I'm hinging at the hip, keeping that weight on the front leg. We're doing 10 of these. Now, main thing with this is that I want to keep the weight on the front leg and not drift towards the back leg. It feels a nice big stretch on the hamstring in that bottom position. Now when I get to this last rep, I'm going to hold for 10, 9, 8. Making sure to keep this quad engaged. 3, 2, 1, and back to the top. Other side. Squeezing that quad, hinging. What I really like about this drill is that we're stretching the hamstrings while they're under load. So we're really getting a nice strength and range benefit, which is what makes it so effective for grappling. And holding. All right, Cossack squat. It says 16 to 20 reps, we're gonna go 20. First set always feels a little bit tighter. Second and third, that's where it's at. $16 total. I lost count there. Too busy thinking about how fucking good my Cossack squat's gonna look in this second set. First set, always a little bit sticky. There we go. Now we're down to the floor for our side lying rotation. Trapping that bottom knee. Making a fist, elbow locked, I reach, circle around, and back. Keeping the knees pinned to the floor, trying to pull this shoulder to the ground at the same time. And holding this last one for 10. Good. Other side. Those little chiropractic adjustments are for free. I always get a few little pops when I do my first set of this. Notice I'm drawing the arc with my fist as wide as I can. So So I'm reaching as far forward as possible, up and back. I'm also exhaling as I arrive here at my end position. Once again, I've lost count because I'm too busy thinking about how fucking sweet that arc looks. We're just gonna call this one more rep. 10 seconds here. Trying to pull a bit closer to the floor with my shoulder on every exhale. One round down, 2 to go. Straight into it. Again, quad is engaged. Nice and long through the spine. Good. Just to note, this one's harder on the mats because balancing on one foot, it's easier on hard floor. I don't mean harder as in you should do it here because it's harder. I mean, you probably find it a bit easier to access if you've got some hard ground you can stand on. But if the mats are all that's available, so be it. Now it's the second round, so we should be feeling a little bit more range open to us this time. So I want you to take that range. Keeping the spine long, taking it as deep as you can. And holding. Very good. Cossack squat again. Should have a little bit more range this time. Quad is engaged, toes are pulled back. Arms out helps with balance. If your heels are lifting a little bit, it's totally okay. Though the goal is to try and be able to do it with flat feet eventually. But if you want to make it a little bit harder, you could bring the arms back. So you could try the arms on the hips here. For me, it's okay on my left side, but my right ankle's a bit tight. So I prefer to stick with this arms forward variation. That counterweight just makes it perfect for me to get into. And this is really what we're working on here. 20 reps, I think so. Side lying rotation. Fist and reach. Good one, other side. Jules, you catching nice quality audio of my groaning and heavy breathing here? Very good. Hey? You notice I'm trying to just breathe through my nose when I do this stuff. It's good practice and it just stops me from getting lazy and falling back into mouth breathing habits. I save that shit for the mats. Again, every time I say something, I lose count. So if you're following along, tough shit. And we hold. Good stuff. All right, third and final round. Actually, on the app, we say 2 to 3 sets. If you don't have the time, 2 is going to be adequate, 3 is going to be optimal. So choose your own adventure. Last one, best one. And it is absolutely the case that if you are trying to really make progress with your mobility training, 3 sets is always the way to go. 2 sets, we're really just starting to tap into our sort of capacity. 3, that's where we're pushing the boundaries of our range of motion. Hold. Again, keeping that kneecap lock. Quad is engaged. Shit, my hands are on my hips. They're meant to be behind my head. I fucked up. Let's start again, Jules. Good. Doesn't really matter, but let's go back to where we're meant to be. Knee is locked, quad is engaged. Holding. Good. Cossack, third and final round. Take the time to find the right position with your feet for this too. Don't always start my sets in the perfect position, so sometimes you gotta shuffle around a little bit to find that. It can be the difference between a good Cossack squat and a really average one. Trying to think about connecting my hamstring and my calf here, pulling into that deepest possible position. Good. Oh yeah. You might notice I got a band-aid on my thigh. Jiu-Jitsu, man. Let's hope it's not staph. There's a little pimple under there. I'm not trying to hide anything from you guys. Transparency is what I'm all about. So taking a moment to exhale at that end position, really trying to get that shoulder to the floor. Stuff. there we go. Cycle 1, mobility foundations, warm-up 1 done. Like I said, these warm-up routines are dynamic, so they're movement-based. There's a little bit of load in them. They are going to get your heart rate up slightly, but they are going to get you warm. And they consider it like light strength training. So if you haven't really done a lot of this sort of stuff before, you'll probably feel sore, especially through the hamstrings after those good mornings, and probably also through the inner thighs, the adductors and whatnot after the Cossack squats. So that is all a very normal response to have. And I would say if you're coming to this thing at a lower level of fitness, maybe don't try and do this directly before you train Jiu-Jitsu, because it might take some energy from you. And if that's the case, do it as a separate thing. Treat it as a smaller workout. 15 minutes, thereabouts. You can do it in the morning. You can do it whenever you need to. For those of you who are a little bit fitter, though, you should be able to throw something like this onto the beginning of your Jiu-Jitsu class. And then, of course, once you get into class, you do a more class-specific warm-up. But you know that you've kind of unlocked key areas of the body, and you've given yourself your best chance to express your true athletic potential. So heaps more stuff like that on the app. If you do want help with your strength and mobility training, download the Bulletproof for BJJ app. You can get it at our website, bulletproofforbjj.com. We've got a bunch of different programs, strength and mobility, and they're all targeted at you, the Jiu-Jitsu player who wants to spend more time on the mats, perform at your best, and spend the least amount of time in the gym while not being injured and being nice and strong. Check it out, and we'll see you on the inside. Us.